Imagine a world where a small group of people, the 1%, keeps getting richer, while most others struggle just to get by. This is not a far-off story. It's happening right now. Over the last few decades, wealth has grown more and more concentrated, leaving the lows and middle-income classes behind. While the rich find new ways to increase their fortunes, ordinary people face rising living costs, stagnant wages, and debts they can't shake off. This gap between the wealthy and everyone else isn't just a number. It impacts everyday life. People in the middle and lower classes often work longer hours but find it harder to save money or plan for the future. Understanding why the 1% keep growing their wealth and why most others don't gives us insights into how wealth inequality affects society and what might be done to create a fairer future. Number 1. Understanding wealth inequality. Wealth inequality means that money and assets, like property, stocks, and businesses, are not equally shared among people. A small group, often called the 1%, owns a big share of this wealth, while most people in the middle or lower classes own much less. Wealth inequality happens when the richest keep getting richer, often through investments or by passing wealth to their children, while others struggle to save or grow their money. For example, when someone in the 1% invests in stocks, they earn even more money if the stock grows. They might also use special tax breaks to keep more of what they earn. But people with lower incomes, who rely mainly on wages, don't have extra money to invest, and they often face higher taxes on their earnings. Over time, this leads to a huge gap in wealth. Why does this matter? When the rich have much more than everyone else, it can lead to problems in society. It can be harder for lower-income people to afford homes, good education, and healthcare, which limits their chances to improve their lives. This growing gap affects everyone and creates an unfair system where some people start with many advantages and others start with very few. Number 2. How the 1% build and protect wealth. The richest 1% use several smart strategies to build and keep their wealth. These methods often give them even more advantages, allowing them to grow their fortunes while others struggle to catch up. Here are some of the key ways the 1% build and protect their wealth. 1. Investing in high-value assets. The wealthy don't just rely on regular paychecks. They invest their money in things that grow in value, like stocks, real estate, and private businesses. For example, they might buy shares in a successful company or purchase property in a growing area. As these investments increase in value, their wealth grows. These types of investments make money over time and can be passed down to future generations, creating long-lasting wealth. 2. Tax advantages and loopholes. The 1% often benefit from tax rules that help them keep more of their money. They can use tax breaks, known as loopholes, to reduce the amount of taxes they pay. For example, income from investments, known as capital gains, is taxed at a lower rate than regular wages, meaning the wealthy pay less tax on their earnings than most people. They can also use offshore accounts in countries with lower tax rates to keep their money safe from high taxes in their home countries. 3. Trusts and wealth transfer. Many wealthy people set up trusts to pass down their wealth to their children without paying as much in taxes. A trust is a financial tool that holds assets, like money or property, and can be used to pass wealth from one generation to the next with fewer taxes. This helps the rich keep their wealth within the family, and it often stays protected from issues like lawsuits or debt. 4. Limited liability companies, LLCs, and corporations. The 1% often put their investments or businesses in companies called LLCs or corporations. This protects their personal wealth because legally, the company is separate from the individual. If something goes wrong with the company, like a financial loss, it doesn't affect their personal wealth. It also provides tax benefits, allowing them to reduce the amount of taxes they pay. By using these strategies, the 1% continue to grow their wealth while protecting it from risks. These methods allow them to keep their money safe and increase their financial power, often at a much faster rate than people in the middle or lower income groups. Number 3. Challenges facing the low and middle class. The low and middle classes face many challenges that make it hard for them to build wealth or improve their financial situation. These challenges often keep them struggling just to keep up with basic needs, and they can't get ahead financially like the wealthy can. 1. Stagnant wages. For many years, wages for lows and middle-income workers have barely increased, even though the cost of living has gone up. This is called wage stagnation. Prices for things like food, rent, healthcare, and education keep rising, but paychecks don't grow as much. This makes it difficult for people to save money or plan for the future, as most of their income goes toward daily expenses. 2. Debt. Many people in the middle and lower classes struggle with debt. Common debts include student loans, credit card debt, and medical bills. High interest rates make these debts grow quickly, which can keep people stuck in a cycle of paying off bills without ever saving money. For example, if someone is paying off credit card debt with high interest, they might end up paying more in interest than the original amount they borrowed. This debt burden makes it harder to save or invest money. 3. Limited access to investment opportunities. Unlike the wealthy, who can easily invest in stocks, real estate, or private businesses, many lows and middle-income individuals don't have the extra money needed to invest. They often rely solely on their paychecks, without access to high-growth investments that can increase their wealth over time. Without these opportunities, it's hard for them to make their money grow like the 1% can. 4. Lack of financial security. Unexpected costs, like a medical emergency or car repair, can disrupt a lows or middle-income household's finances. Without enough savings, these unexpected expenses often push families into more debt or make them cut back on basic needs. The lack of a safety net adds stress and limits people's ability to focus on long-term goals. These challenges keep the low and middle classes in a tough financial position, often making it difficult for them to escape the cycle of just getting by. Without changes to help support financial growth, many will remain at a disadvantage compared to the wealthier 1%. Number 4. The role of policies and regulations. Policies and regulations, the rules and laws made by governments, play a big role in how wealth is distributed. These policies can either help narrow the wealth gap or make it wider, depending on how they are designed. Here's how. 1. Tax policies favoring the wealthy. Tax policies often favor the rich, making it easier for them to keep their wealth. For example, wealthy people pay less tax on money made from investments, known as capital gains, compared to regular wage income. This allows the 1% to pay lower taxes on most of their income, keeping more money in their pockets. In contrast, middle and low-income earners pay higher taxes on their wages, which limits how much they can save. 2. Lack of support for wages and benefits. Some policies don't provide enough support for regular workers. For example, minimum wage rates might be too low, or there may be limited policies for affordable healthcare and education. When wages don't keep up with rising costs, it becomes hard for lower-income groups to improve their financial standing. Stronger policies for better wages, healthcare, and education could help reduce the gap. 3. Reduce social safety nets. Government programs that help people in tough times, like unemployment benefits or housing assistance, are sometimes reduced. Without these safety nets, people in the low and middle-income groups struggle more when they face financial difficulties, like job loss or illness. With policies that support fair wages, affordable healthcare, and tax fairness, wealth could be more equally spread, giving everyone a better chance at financial stability. Number 5. Social implications of the wealth gap. The wealth gap affects society in many ways, often creating big problems. When a small group holds most of the wealth, it limits opportunities for others, making it harder for many to afford good healthcare, education, or housing. This lack of opportunity can lead to frustration and even social unrest, as people feel left out or unfairly treated. Communities with high wealth inequality also see more health issues, higher crime rates, and lower overall happiness. The wealth gap doesn't just hurt the poor and middle class. It can affect everyone by creating a less stable, less fair society. Number 6. Possible solutions and hope for change. There are ways to make wealth more equal and give everyone a better chance at financial security. Here are some possible solutions. 1. Fairer tax policies. Governments could adjust tax policies to make the system fairer. For example, they could increase taxes on capital gains so that the wealthy pay similar rates as everyone else. This change would allow more funds to go toward public programs, like healthcare and education, which can help the lower and middle classes. 2. Higher wages. Raising the minimum wage would give workers more money to cover their daily expenses and even save a little. When people have enough income to live comfortably, they can plan for the future and improve their financial situation. 3. Better access to education and healthcare. Affordable education and healthcare can provide real opportunities for people to succeed. Education helps people get better jobs, and healthcare helps them stay healthy and productive. If these essentials are affordable for everyone, people in the lower and middle classes have a better chance to grow financially. 4. Financial literacy programs. Teaching people about managing money, saving, and investing can empower them to make smart financial choices. With knowledge and resources, people can build wealth over time. These changes give hope for a fairer economy where everyone has a chance to succeed, not just the top 1%. The wealth gap between the 1% and the rest isn't just about money. It's about fairness and opportunity. As the rich grow richer and others struggle to get by, we must think about the kind of society we want to build. A society with equal chances for everyone is one where people can reach their potential without facing unfair barriers. Governments, communities, and individuals can all play a role in reducing this gap by supporting fair wages, better education, and fair tax policies. Reflecting on these changes can lead us to a more balanced and just future for all. Now, if you want to learn how to achieve financial success, then watch this video next. If you made it to this point in the video, please like and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.